Santa, I'm leaving you.
Santa can't bring himself to fully face the harsh reality before him. Mrs. Claus is leaving him for good. And only 2 nights until Christmas Eve. It feels as if his soul has been stomped on. And yet he knows he is largely to blame for Mrs. Claus's decision to leave him. The sad truth is that he has been a pretty bad husband. Always obsessed with the work required to be a successful Santa Claus and make the best gifts every year at the cost of his marriage. It pained him greatly that he and Mrs. Claus never had children of their own. They never even had sex. Not even hand stuff. And while it's true they both believed sex was too naughty, Santa knew that Mrs. Claus had always secretly yearned for him to throw himself upon her and devour her naked body with furious passion. If only so that he could impregnate her and they could at least have a family. But for reasons Santa himself couldn't fully understand, he never pushed the envelope in the bedroom with Mrs. Claus. And over time they had grown distant, no longer even spooning, rubbing noses or holding hands. When they first fell in love and got married, Santa and Mrs. Claus had for a brief time done lots of dry humping. But then Santa got busy preparing for Christmas, as he always did, and the dry humping abruptly stopped. And every year since, Santa disappeared more and more into his job, always distracted by some work-related crisis, resolving squabbles among his elves, health issues with his reindeer, mechanical problems with his sleigh, and obsessing over making and distributing the gifts perfectly. He always made time to be the best Santa Claus, but never time to be a loving husband. Now that Mrs. Claus was leaving him, all the work Santa had done over the years seemed meaningless. He felt totally alone. His life had been a waste.
Hello, my name is Santa, also known as Santa Claus. You might have heard I'm jolly, but that feeling is all gone. My wife Nancy Claus has left me. She was the North Star to my pole. Without her, I fear I don't know what to do or where to go. She says that I work too hard and I'm a sexless freak, which she must know is so naughty because sex is naughty in our religion. Maybe I won't find Nancy and try to patch our marriage up. Without her beside me, I fear Christmas year won't be enough. I'll call up her sister in Jersey. Maybe she knows where she's at. And if that doesn't work, I will hack into her first tracking app. I'll show up wherever she is with some flowers and a gun. The flowers will show I love her, and the gun will show she's safe with me. I'm gonna go find Nancy. There's no way that this plan goes wrong. We'll be reunited in no time, in matrimony without cum.
No, Santa. She's gone. Look, all of us elves, even Chet, right, Chet? All of us elves, we think you deserve a little time off. You've been working very hard for a very long time. We can absolutely handle Christmas. Maybe you could go see Ruth. She's been struggling a lot since Hank Claus passed away. And I think it might be good for both of you to be around family right now.
No, you can't make me.
What'd you say?
Times of emotional distress such as these that Santa reached for his proverbial safety blanket, the nice list. Yes, the nice list. The one upon which the names of all those deserving of Christmas presents for the year appear in order of niceness. The nice list never fails to cheer Santa up. And that is because every year for the last 300 odd years, the first name on the nice list has been, without fail, Bigfoot. Yes, folks, you heard correctly. Bigfoot has been the official, undisputed nicest of nice for 3 centuries running now. And what started as a joke long ago has since become a beloved tradition at the North Pole. You see, every year, the elves hand make a fancy pair of humongous shoes for Santa to deliver to the nicest one in the land, figuring he probably has a hard time finding shoes that fit. And every year, Santa returns from his deliveries with an empty sack, saved for Bigfoot's Christmas shoes, and states unceremoniously that, once again, he has been unsuccessful in locating their intended recipient. The elves think this is hilarious, and the pair of shoes end up getting split between a couple of new guys in the all-important logistics department, where they proudly display them as cuticle decorations for the remainder of their careers. All of a sudden, Santa was struck with an incredible idea.
Every Christmas we make giant shoes for the nicest Sasquatch on the earth. But time after time we can't seem to find Bigfoot's mailbox or his P.O. Maybe I should go and find out where he lives this year, to show him how much we like him being nice. I bet he'd appreciate some size 88s, and I could rub that in the face of my wife. I can visit my sister-in-law sometime next year. She's probably really very busy right now, and it might be awkward. Meanwhile, I know Bigfoot will love to see me. That's how nice he is. And so, I'm gonna take these Christmas shoes and maybe a young elf or two. We'll find Bigfoot's place, and with a smile I will say, Merry Christmas, here's shoes.
Fucking frying me with this shit, bro.
You could go see Ruth.
No. Holy checked. I think that Santa's right. Grab your backpack, go into the wild. Find Bigfoot, go make him smile. Deliver the Christmas shoes. Deliver the Christmas shoes.
Fine. You're taking Chet with you.
We're gonna be fucking famous!
The unmolested coniferous forest, northern Nunavut, Canada, works wonders for a broken heart. 1,000-year-old networks of larches, spruces, and pines spiral upward into the perpetual night sky. The gaping mouths of strip mall-sized natural formations, aptly referred to as snow caves, greet passers-by with big, almost belching smiles. Their magnificently white ice crystals glinting in the brilliant moonlight. Fauna is scarce, but traces of animal life are spotted easily enough with a discerning eye. If I had more time, I would tell you about the glaciers. The glaciers are the most spectacular features of all. But that's not here, not now. The heroes of our story, Santa and Chet, have already spent a number of days traversing this beautiful wilderness with determination and relative ease. And surely enough, Santa's formerly unbearable agony retreated into the darker corners of his spirit for hours at a time. More than once, he marveled at almost being able to forget Nancy was no longer in his life. Christmas Eve night came and went, and Santa hardly even gave it a second thought, knowing full well that his elves would have no trouble carrying out his duties in his absence. But gradually, imperceptibly even, the healing effect of these woods began to diminish, and at present, it begins to dawn on Santa that he's lost his way. These conifers through which they travel are distinctly unfamiliar to him. And for the first time since leaving the workshop some days ago, he experiences crushing fear and doubt.
Santa, are we lost?
No.
Okay, but I think we're lost.
No, we're not lost. I know where we're going. We just need to go that way. Certain.
Hey, Chet. Michael! Hey.
Michael! Michael, Santa? Santa, this is Michael.
Santa, great, big fan of your work. Love your stuff, man. So, you guys, seem lost.
Nah, we're not.
Yes, we're lost.
Okay. Well, you know, Santa, you've done so much for me. You know, one of the many gifts you've brought, widescreen edition Surf's Up. Right? And I feel like maybe in your situation, what this movie represents, you could find some truth in. And also, you know, I just wanted to say, I got this weird feeling one of you guys is gonna die. So I just wanted to let that be known, but I love you. I appreciate you. You've done a lot for me in my life. Be safe. Love y'all. Love you so much, man.
Unnerved by the ominous warning, yet happy to have regained their sense of direction, Santa and Chet strike out once more. As they begin to fall into a nice rhythm, Santa can't help but linger on the idea of having to get lost in order to find the way. Those words came from a wise man indeed. They remind me of a little story I like to tell now and then. Once upon a time, there was a Chinese farmer whose horse ran away. That evening, all his neighbors came around to commiserate. They said, "We are so sorry to hear your horse has run away. This is most unfortunate." The farmer said, "Maybe." The next day, the horse came back, bringing 7 wild horses with it. And in the evening, everybody came back and said, "Oh, isn't that lucky? What a great turn of events. You now have 8 horses." The farmer again said, "Maybe." The following day, his son tried to break one of the new horses, and while riding it, he was thrown and broke his leg. The neighbors then said, "Oh dear, that's too bad." And the farmer responded, "Maybe." The next day, the conscription officers came around to draft people into the army, and they rejected his son because he had a broken leg. Again, all the neighbors came around and said, "Isn't that great?" Again, he said, "Maybe." All of nature is an integrated process of immense complexity. It's really impossible to tell whether anything that happens in it is good or bad, because you never know what will be the consequence of misfortune, and you never know what will be the consequence of good fortune. Funny timing, as here enters Alex Boswell, the naughtiest soul on the naughty list. Just look at those big headphones and that Carhartt jacket. You can tell this Boswell character is up to no good. And old St. Nick knows this only too well. I'd like you to remember that Chinese farmer as we see what happens here.
Hey, what's up, pedophiles? Oh, Santa, I heard your wife left you, right? Oh, Santa, what happened to your beard?
Oh, I shaved it.
No, I mean your wife. Because your beard, because you're gay, and it's not why, you never had sex with her in the first place, she left you.
What?
Relax, I'm just kidding. It's a rhetorical question, okay? I know where your beard is, okay? She's getting cracked by Joe Pera. I heard she loves it all.
Santa, don't listen to Boswell.
Shut up, Chad. You're a virgin too. And don't you have hemorrhoids? That's really disgusting.
I do not.
As a matter of fact, Chet does have hemorrhoids.
Nancy Claus and Joe Pera are out on a date. They are having a great time. They don't mention me. Joe Pera tells a joke in his wry, sleepy way that makes Nancy laugh harder than she ever has with me. Joe Pera, Joe Pera, Joe Pera, Joe Pera. He is way cooler than Santa Claus. Now they're leaving the restaurant. Pera pays for the bill. A $50 tip on a $40 bill. That's not the only big tip he'll be offering tonight as they go back to his one-bedroom in Bed-Stuy. Probably Joe Pera, Joe Pera, Joe Pera, Joe Pera. Please don't make naughty my Nancy Claus.
Hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids. Come take a sip. It's good. I promise.
Okay.
There's poison in that, and also you're dead, dying. You're dying. Also, hemorrhoids, they're not even that bad. You could have accepted that, and maybe you wouldn't die virgin, and but I know you're always worried that some elf girl was gonna see your disgusting butt.
It was poison.
Wow, I'm so glad I broke up with Joe Pera.
Yeah?
It's much better with you.
Hey, have you ever had frozen Pop-Tarts?
No.
Want to go put some in the freezer and bone until they're cold?
Okay.
All right.
Chet's dead. Really dead. Forever. What's more, Boswell robbed Santa of his equipment. Warm layers and supplies. Only leaving his long underwear because they didn't want to see what's underneath. Curiously enough, they passed over the Christmas shoes. And it's not because they weren't the right size. No, in their infinite cruelty, Alex Boswell intentionally overlooked the shoes, knowing that so long as Santa had Bigfoot's special gift, he'd continue his search, meaning Santa would not only die, but be sure to suffer. Oh, and would you look at that? It's beginning to snow.
It's beginning to look like I'm in trouble. It's getting really cold. I know these PJs look cozy, but they are actually very thin and flammable. It's beginning to look completely hopeless. I'm so hungry. Maybe I should go back to Chet and cannibalize him before I starve and freeze. I'll eat his heart and his chin and I'll wear all his skin as an extra layer of work. I'll chew on the fat of his supple asses and then grub to dessert. And Liver King says that roast spleen grants immortality. But I'm beginning to get kind of tired. Chet so far away. I really don't want to walk. And honestly, singing this song has drained me of all of my energy. I'm beginning to think I'll take a nap first. Then I'll disembowel Chet. I think after a few quick Z's, I'll be more than ready to eat my friend in a blizzard.
Santa started to freeze. The process of freezing to death is slow and really bad. Blood moves from the extremities towards the core, keeping vital organs warm. You shiver more and more in an attempt to generate heat. Respiration and heart rate increase. Eventually, the shivering stops. Meanwhile, the kidneys are desperately at work. There is an extreme urge to urinate and a loss of bladder control. But pissing yourself will only make you freeze faster. The heart starts to slow down. The brain loses oxygen. Visual and auditory hallucinations set in. Dilation of blood vessels makes you feel extreme heat. You might get naked, try to cool off, accelerating your demise. Eventually, the water in your cells freezes and forms crystals, expanding and destroying the cells, and you die. But Santa isn't there yet. No, for now his hands and feet are just very, very cold. He shuts his eyes, and his mind drifts to the topic of his woes, his sweet Nancy, and her newfound sexual bliss in the arms of Joe Para. Suddenly, awareness overwhelms Santa's system, and a sob catches in the middle of his throat. Frozen there by the ever-intensifying cold, the grisly reality of Santa's situation sets in. He understands completely that he is dying, and he will never see Nancy again. He understands his search for Bigfoot has come to an end, and that Chet's death has ultimately been in vain. But then, another feeling starts to take hold too, and Santa begins to feel connected to all things. All things.
I'm not gonna pout, I'm not gonna cry, I'm perfectly fine with the end of my life. Santa Claus has made peace with God. If Nancy and Joe are having great sex, I really don't care, I wish them the best. Santa Claus is going to die. I thought that work was my life, but work has ended my life. I was so busy trying to be nice, I forgot how to keep my wife. Now that I'm alone, I can see the truth, and that has more worth than a giant pair of shoes. Santa Claus is enlightened now. It's time for me to decease. It's time for me to die. It's time for Santa's passing, and I don't think that I mind. So what if I'm alone? So what if no one's here? It's all a faded outcome, so I'll just enjoy the ride. If the rule I follow brought me here, of what use was the rule? Existence is a shiny sham, my pain is nothing new. lose all feeling in my extremities. I gain an understanding that answers all the answers. And I can finally admit that I'm only part of a bigger part of a huger part of a macrocosm. Muppet Show!
And suddenly, just as suddenly as it had begun, the blizzard stops. Santa continues to feel the overwhelming sense of peace that gripped him so. But there is another feeling rising up in his soul, a hard feeling, a feeling of rigid determination. Just as surely as he knew he would die moments earlier, he now knows with absolute certainty that he will eat Chet's remains. And that's where our story ends. That's the true story of the Christmas shoes. Santa never did find me. I remained one big step ahead of him at all times, as I always do when earnestly pursued by one of your species. I can see into hearts, you know. I can see shades of emotion just as clearly as you see tints of orange in the autumn leaves. And in the hearts of so many of those who seek me, I see not so much a pure desire to add another branch to Darwin's taxonomy, but more a need to discover something deeper within themselves. And Santa has succeeded to that end. For now, he is truly present, only focused on chewing Chet. And though he may not have succeeded in finding me, he did succeed in delivering the Christmas shoes, didn't he? I hate to say it, but I had no use for these Christmas shoes. Believe it or not, for a brief time in the 1960s, I tried human sneakers. But I prefer to let my feet breathe. Well, I guess I'll leave these here. Maybe somebody someday will have a use for them. And I'll leave you with this. Merry Christmas. And for those of you with a broken heart, know this. Chet's dead. And Santa's really eating him. And somehow it's all fine. You'll be fine.